back to the Soda Pop Podcast. I am your host, Kiya Williams, and I'm here with a very special guest. Can you please introduce yourself for us?
Yes, hi, I'm Janna Malone. I'm Department Chair and Senior Lecturer in the Department of Entertainment Industry here at the University of North Alabama. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to talk to you, Janna. It's so much fun to talk to you all the time. I saw her all the time when we were on Tom Bigby Street, but if you can't tell by the constant change of locations these past couple of episodes for everybody who's watching on YouTube, we've moved offices. And a lot of things have moved around, and a lot of people have joined SOTA, including entertainment industry. Right. And so it's one of the reasons we're talking here with Janna today, so you guys can get to know entertainment industry and understand what it is, because I know I was confused at first until somebody explained it to me.
Yeah.
But before we do that, we're going to do a quick little moment, and we're going to do a little fresh squeeze. We're going to talk about some new songs, some new music, or music we've just been listening to on repeat, and drink a new lemonade. You're the first person who shook it first, and I'm so proud because nobody ever shakes it first.
Oh, you got to shake it. You got to get all the good stuff mixed up.
Exactly. Yeah. But today we're trying Purity lemonade with natural flavors. People asked where I get these lemons. We're not sponsored, by the way. One day we will be. But people ask where I get these.
You should be. You're giving them the shout out.
I know. It's not fair. But I just go to the random local gas station and get a random lemonade I've never had before. That's it.
Interesting.
So let's try it. Let's find out.
Okay.
Oh, here's some ASMR for everybody.
Did we cheers?
Cheers.
Okay.
Okay, this reminded me of like school cafeteria lemonade. It's a worse version of the last one I did with Suzanne. We did the I think it was like everlasting lemonade, which was tart, but it had flavor. And this is just a lot of water. You know,
I kind of tasted the plastic bottle in it a little bit.
You do eat the plastic bottle.
Yeah.
It's like I'm holding like a bottle of bubbles.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I'll have to give you, I love lemonade. Yeah. And there's a sugar-free lemonade that I buy at Sam's. And I'm going to have to give you.
What's the name of it?
I'll have to figure it out. I'll get you 2 bottles for whoever your next guest is. It's sugar-free, and it's probably my favorite.
We'll have that. Okay, we'll have that for the next episode then.
Sorry, Purity.
It's not that good. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Nostalgia factor is a 3 out of 10 of like a cafeteria, like getting lunch. That's it.
Although if they were going to sponsor you,
it's a whole different story.
You gotta get it a 10 out of 10.
That's a different story, but they're not sponsoring me, so I get to have whatever opinion I want.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, thanks for that.
Not a problem. So, what music have you been listening to? We have a playlist called Fresh Squeeze where we add all the songs that my guests give me.
Wow. Playlist that I've been listening to. I'm kind of, right now, I listen to all genres. I'm listening right now to contemporary Christian more often than not. I'm really into Zach Williams. He actually recorded here at Fame not too long ago.
Really?
He did. So he's got that Muscle Shoals connection. Ann Wilson, Lauren Daigle, of course, then the go-tos like Mercy Me and Casting Crowns and stuff.
Okay.
So, and I try to promote our Grammy Award-winning faculty member in our department. So I listen to John Paul White.
Of course.
Got to give that shout out there. So listen to his music, and hopefully I have something new coming out soon.
Okay, then. We'll love that. If you were listening to our Concord Floral episode, you know very much that I love Ricky Montgomery. He's one of my favorite artists at the moment. And his album just dropped. He dropped an EP recently, but then he just dropped the new album. And so that's been on repeat for me. So, of course, I'm adding the whole album to the playlist because, I love it. I love me some Ricky Montgomery. He did not disappoint at all. 10 out of 10. Love it. So that's currently, and if you want to listen to the playlist, just type in UNA School of the Arts on Spotify in the search, click on our profile, and you will see the playlist called Fresh Squeeze. So you know what lemonades we were drinking and what we were thinking about when we drank them.
So that's the tie-in with the lemonade.
Yes.
Gotcha.
We did it last year as well. We had I think it was Fresh Jams, something else. I forgot the title. It's a whole other year ago, a whole other season.
So with Fresh Jams, were you eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
I'm allergic to peanut butter, so no.
So.
It was just a catchy title.
Okay, yeah.
So we just
Very
did that.
creative.
And so every time we had a guest come on, we had them use a different song.
I see.
And it's very chaotic. It's a very chaotic playlist, and I love it so much. If you never know what to put on, that one's still on our profile too. It's over like 17 hours. Put it on shuffle. You never know what you're gonna get. There's like 3 Taylor Swift albums, a Led Zeppelin album, a Big Time Rush album, a Ricky Montgomery album, a musical or 2. There's a podcast episode on there, because one of our guests wrote for a like almost like news, not news, like radio show.
Okay.
So like we added like a clip for that for there.
Interesting.
We do a little bit of everything. We have a guest
I'll
of
have
everybody.
to check that out.
Yes.
Very diverse group.
Yes, it's
We are
very
here.
fun. It's very fun.
Yeah.
So let's get started. I have some questions for you, Janna, because
Sure.
you're here. You're a special guest to
Aw.
represent everybody. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up here at UNA?
Okay, sure. I am born and raised in the Shoals area. Went to Deshler High School, and when I graduated, I came to UNA and was a commercial music major years ago, which is that program now has dwarfed into what the entertainment industry program. Graduated from UNA, and a requirement for graduation is an internship. You have to do an internship. So I did an internship at Muscle Shoals Sound Studio. My interest was the business side of things. I play piano, I sing, but not well enough that I thought I'm going to make a living by doing this. I was not interested in the technical side of things, like being a producer or an engineer. It didn't appeal to me to sit behind a console all day and listen to the same song over and over and over. But I didn't really realize what all other career opportunities there were. But I did an internship at Muscle Shoals Sound and worked on the business side of, at that time, there was a group that was one of the brothers from the Leonard Skinner band that had a group called Rosington, and they were recording there, and there were all the licensing and the master copyrights and all the business aspects that went along with recording. So I was exposed to a lot of that while I was doing my internship. And so I graduated, and my internship supervisor called me, and she said, "Hey, don't know if you're interested, but Rick Hall at Fame, the owner at Fame, was looking for an assistant." And I was like, this is like a month after I graduated, and I was like, sure.
For everyone who doesn't know, Fame is a very, very like important like music recording studio place in the Shoals where a lot of records have been recorded. Yeah. And it's a very big deal.
Right. And if you haven't watched the Muscle Shoals documentary, you should do that.
100%.
It tells the history of Muscle Shoals, but really kind of hones in because of the time period with Rick Hall and Fame and some other things. But Aretha Franklin and Wilson Pickett and Otis Redding, and
like, if you don't understand, this is a very big deal. So getting to work there was like
crazy, all the people, which of course that was way before my time. Yeah. But still, really cool place. And so anyway, she called me and I interviewed and was so excited because I was like, man, I'm a shoo-in for this job. I've got the degree. I know kind of how the business works a little bit. And I didn't get the job. What happened, which happens all the time, it's like somebody that knew somebody,
nepotism.
Needed a job.
Yeah.
And so they hired her, and she lasted about 3 days, and they called me, and I, got the job and worked there almost 9 years. And it was a recording studio, but they were also a publishing company. They had, as many as 20 songwriters that were writing. So there was the business side of the songs as well. And producers, they had a record label, they had 2 recording studios. So they had a lot of things going on. So I was exposed to a lot of different aspects of the industry. Probably better for me to have stayed here, because I had friends over the years that said, why didn't you move from the area? Why didn't you go to Nashville or LA or New York, one of the larger recording centers? And I just never had the desire to do that. I always, not that I love home, which I do love here, but I just never had the desire to move and, sit in an office and do one thing all day long.
Yeah.
I got to do a lot of different things. And the Halls were really good to me, and got a call one day from Dr. Simpson, who was the head of the music department at the time here. And the Actually, he was the director of the program. It was before that our department was a department. He was the director of our program, and he had gotten really sick. And Dr. Simpson called and said, "Hey, would you be interested in finishing up this class? The professor's sick." And so one thing just led to another. And then they called and offered me the job because he was very sick and was not able to come back. So this starts my 27th year here.
Oh my gosh.
So I know that's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's to think, gosh, I've been here 3 times as long as I was at Fame, which seems like totally crazy. But so yeah, that's my story of being here, and I love being here and the experience. And I'm sure you'll probably ask me a question about that, or
I will.
whatever.
But I'm so happy you're here with us. Like
Yeah.
27 years is a very long time.
That is a long time. Well, this starts my 27th. So,
Yeah, still,
but,
it's still.
yeah,
You
so.
know, most people like are somewhere for 25 years and either like they retire or they leave, but you're still here and you're still kicking
and
it.
still enjoy what I do. Students, you know,
Yeah.
if I didn't enjoy, I think the point where I don't enjoy it anymore, it's time to go home. You
Yeah.
know, because you're not being fair to the students.
Like
and,
every time I
know.
see you, you're just so excited about everything that's happening.
It's a fun industry.
Yeah.
And we've got some great students, and I love it.
A question I have currently is like you have the title of chair. What does that mean? If you don't mind me asking, since you've been here long enough to tell me.
Well, no, I started chair in June.
Oh.
Or actually July. The previous chair retired June, at the end of June.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it was June 1st that I took over the position. So we had some great leadership. He was here 25 years.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting because he was a songwriter when I worked at Fame. And so our paths, this was our second work life together. So we worked very well. We had some really good staff members. So he left us in a really good position. But as far as chair duties, meetings, I don't want to say a lot of paperwork, but reports. And I don't want to say it's easy because it's not an easy job, but I have good staff and faculty, which make it easier if I can say, "Hey, will you help me do this?" or "Can I hand this off to you?" or "Hey, we have a deadline. Everybody, you have to turn in." Like our schedules were just due last week for spring, and we were, I was working on that, but getting input on, okay, what do you want to teach? Are these times okay? Are these, is this schedule okay with you? And everybody was right on it. I didn't have to like remind them, "Hey, this is due. We're getting down to the wire. Book orders are due. Send them in." It's just like I'll send a message, an email out, and everybody's right on it. But they know this is, one of the faculty members kind of laughs and he's like, "Okay, boss." And I'm like, "I'm not the boss here. It's just I'm just
Facilitating.
I'm just facilitating everybody and making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do. This is our department. It's not my department. It's our department. So let's move forward.
I love
together.
that mentality so much. I always love that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't have it.
Well, I mean, I very much want their input. There was something the other day I was working on, and I was like, "This isn't my decision to make. This is we're working on some rebranding and marketing and doing our website." And somebody had sent me in marketing had sent me a questionnaire to fill out. And a lot of it, I could have answered it all, but I'm like, I don't want to answer it all. I want input from everybody because, somebody may have a better idea than and I'm not that. It was like, no, I'm going to do this. And, it's our department. So I want everybody's input.
That is so fair. So let's talk about some of the entertainment industry, like as a department, as a major.
Okay.
You guys just joined us over the summer.
Yes, we
For
did.
the very first time.
Yeah.
Can I ask why you guys weren't part of SOTA before this, if you know?
Sure. Yes. It was kind of odd. We were the chair at the time got an email literally like the morning that they were going to meet on SOTA becoming SOTA. Mm-hmm. And it was just kind of thrown at us, and we didn't really have time to think and process. And it's like, okay, where do we fit here? Because there's been so many times, sometimes we feel like, not just with SOTA, but other things, it's like, do we belong there or do we belong here? Do we fit better here or do we fit better there? And we've always, I don't want to say march to our own drum, but sometimes we do, just because of, what we are. But it was just, we didn't really have time to process what SOTA was and how it was presented to us. Not that we didn't want to be a part of it. It was just like, we really need to think this through. And, leadership at the time, it was like, okay, we'll just continue like it is. And then when the chair retired in the summer, we kind of reevaluated and thought, okay, now's the time to kind of join with SOTA. So it's been a great move, and Megan as the assistant dean has been wonderful, and Betsy, and everybody's been great.
We love that. For everyone who's listening, who's like probably confused on what I say when I mean what I mean by when I say entertainment industry, could you like explain like what that is, what all that entails, and all that fun thing?
Sure. We are the Department of Entertainment Industry, and we have a degree. We have 95 majors, I guess, something like that, somewhere around 95 majors. And we offer a degree in entertainment industry. We have 2 different tracks. We have, if someone is wanting to work in the recording studio as an artist, as a musician, as a producer, an engineer, they pursue the tech track, their technology track. And then we have a business track for someone wanting to work on the business side of entertainment. I always just use Taylor Swift as an example because she's like
super famous,
probably the biggest star in the world, I guess,
Yeah.
Is you think of your favorite artist and they have a team of people that make them who they are.
Like the managers, the publicists, the recording people in the studio.
Her record label, her tour manager, the people that are on the road with her selling merch.
Yes.
Her road manager, her image consultant, people
the
that
PR
do her
teams,
hair.
all that.
I mean, there's just hundreds and hundreds of people that work for her, whether they're on the road or like behind the scenes kind of stuff. So we prepare students for a degree on either side of the business. We offer a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science. The only difference is the Bachelor of Arts, and I'm sure you know this, Bachelor of Arts has to have a year of a foreign language.
Yes.
That's the only difference. If you do not want to do a foreign language, you do a Bachelor of Science. If you want to do a foreign language, you take 2 semesters of that, and you are Bachelor of Arts.
Yeah.
You still take your gen eds just like you would if you were coming for nursing or biology or music, or I don't even know what your major is.
I'm a cat major.
Oh, that's right. I knew that. So just like your cat our requirements might be a tad different, but you still take Englishes and speech
and the science and all
histories
that.
and sciences, math. But then when you get into our core classes, regardless if you are tech or business, we have some common classes because we feel like if you are tech, you need to know about the business. And if you're business, you need to know your way around the studio, not to produce something, but if you're an artist manager and you go into the studio with one of your artists for a week while they're recording, you need to know the language and the terms and what they're talking about.
Of course.
So there's some common classes, and then you kind of branch off, and then if you're tech, you'll go and you'll take those studio classes. And then if you're business, instead of taking the studio classes, you'll take like concert promotion and music publishing and record company and some of the other business classes. Also, there's a minor that's required. And you can do anything in the College of Business, which are just traditional business minors like marketing, management, entrepreneurship, economics, accounting. There's probably like 15 of those. Music, theater, cinematic arts. Music, did I say music?
Yes.
Anything in communications, which is public relations, mass comm, digital media production, and there's probably about 25 or 30 major minors to choose from.
You say like it's required to minor. Can you tell us why?
Well, we just feel, our major is only 36 hours.
Yeah.
So to get to 120, and 2, we feel like somebody coming and doing a tech major or business, you may want to approach, let's say you're doing tech, but you want to approach it from a business standpoint. Maybe you want to own your own studio. So you may do something entrepreneurial. and do something in business where I may want to be more audio video production. So I would take something maybe in digital media.
Yeah.
So it's how you would approach that.
I got that.
That major, or what you would add to that.
I got you. I like that. I like that a lot.
And we teach very broad classes. We don't want students to just specialize in something. I mean, any degree probably would not want students to specialize unless you were a surgeon, or something. But in this industry, especially because as much as you may want to be a songwriter, if you're not talented enough to be a songwriter, what can you do to work around songwriters? So I would have never thought I would wind up teaching. I mean, in a million years. I mean, I just never would. So you want to diversify your portfolio, I guess, as much as you can. So it makes you more marketable.
Yes. You guys put on a lot of events over at the main room.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Can you tell me about the main room, where all of it comes from? Because people hear about it all the time. And people are like, where is it? It's downtown.
Right. It's on Pine Street, 310 North Pine.
A lot of magical things happen there. So can you tell me about it?
Yeah. The main room, which I think is a really cool name. It's Maine as in
like a lion's mane.
Like a lion's mane, which I think is really cool. But it's a venue that we use for our classroom space, but we also rent it out. I mean, it's an income source for us, which allows us to not have to go to administration so much, when we need things, because in our industry, if, we need a new board, I mean, that's not
cheap at all.
But fire capacity is 449, but seating capacity is around 300 chairs. There's a balcony. Ben Flippo is our main room manager, and has just recently upgraded the lighting system in there, and it is amazing. Really, really amazing.
You guys do like open mic nights, correct?
We do open mic nights. We were coinciding with First Fridays, but I think we've got so much going on, and he's doing some upgrading in there right now, running a system from the main room to our studio that's just next door, to record live and be able to mix on the spot in there. So there's some things going on with that. So we've put the songwriter night for now on hold until spring, but we've got so many other
Y'all will always
events.
have things going on.
Yeah, there is actually something next Tuesday night. We have a student hip hop show.
Okay.
Next Tuesday night, doors open at 6, show is at 7. There's educational panels that we've got.
We're actually going to be doing the talent show there. If
Yes,
you don't know about
I have that down too.
That's so much fun.
SOTA's doing a talent show, and then the next, I think Tuesday night, our student organization is doing something called Sound of the Town, which is kind of like a battle of the bands, I guess, if you will. So there's something going on every week.
Something's always happening there.
Yeah. So it's a really cool venue. And students use it. There is a class. All of our students have to complete a capstone project before they graduate. And some students put on a show in there. And so the facility, of course, is free for the students and their capstones to use. So it could be a student show. It could be a promoter that's just rented the space. Or it could be us putting on a show. Or SOTA putting on a show.
Anyone can put on a show if you talk to them.
Yeah.
Super easy to talk to as well.
Yeah, awesome.
One thing I noticed, because I was doing tours this summer around all the different facilities in SOTA, is that you guys have a noise block studio. It's a super cool studio. And who owned it before, if you don't mind me, because I forget the name.
Before us, Gary Baker
Yes.
owned the facility. Gary is a local singer-songwriter, was an artist, and has written a lot of... He's worked with the Backstreet Boys and 98 Degrees. If not 98 Degrees, Nick Lachey from 98 Degrees, Lone Star. But he owned the building. And prior to the university purchasing the building, the university, our department had an arrangement with him where we had like 32 hours a month that our advanced students could utilize Noise Block.
Yeah.
And then he got to where he had a home studio and he wasn't using Noise Block as much. So the university, I believe in 2018, purchased that whole block building, which is Noise Block, our office space,
The Alley Cat.
Alley Cat, SOTA off.
It's now called the Cat House.
Yeah.
Because it's now occupied by the cat major, so we call it the Cat House.
Right, which used to be the SOTA offices.
Yes.
Then it's got the art gallery there.
Yes.
The only thing that the university owns the space, but the only space that is not utilized by the university is next door to us is the law office.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Gary sold that in 2018, and that's where we're located, a couple of blocks off campus. Students love it. It's a creative space.
Very much
feels
so.
more creative than just being in
I walked in there and I was like, oh
classroom.
my God. Like, it just makes you want to do something, you know?
Yeah,
It's so great.
let's do it.
Questions I have for you now are about faculty, because if you go on to the UNA website, everyone's typically listed as a professor or like a visiting professor. Like, I'm a cat major and everyone's either a professor or a visiting professor or like an adjunct. You guys have really cool titles. I have written them down because I think they're super cool and I don't want to mess with anybody. We have John Paul White, who is visiting artist of practice. You have Alex, I'm probably pronounced his last name wrong, Whitchecks.
That's right.
Look at me. Lecturer. And then you have Charles Brooke, who is the only assistant professor. And then your chair.
Right.
So could you explain what these titles mean? Why these titles specifically, if you know?
Yeah, well, John Paul came to us, I believe this starts his third year. And if you don't know John Paul, he was part of the Civil Wars. And he lives here in town and is the owner or one of the owners of Single Lot Records. And he is a Grammy award-winning artist, record label owner. And so we're excited to have him. How many faculty or how many colleges with a program like ours can say they have a Grammy award-winning songwriter teaching songwriting?
Yeah.
And that's one of the classes that he teaches for us is songwriting and advanced songwriting. So we are very fortunate to have him. He's going to be teaching a record company class, which, he runs a record label, so he should be teaching that class. He teaches artist development, which he is an artist. He's still a touring artist, so he does that. Chuck Brooks or Dr. Brooks came to us. It seems like everybody came. Ben, the main room manager, John Paul, our admin, Katrina, and Charles Brooks all came the same year. Those 4 people came the same year. But he came from a college in New Orleans, and he is one of our tech faculty members. He teaches our tech classes along with Alex Whitcheck. And Alex is from Florence. He is another tech faculty member. He has industry experience as well. He's worked on the road doing sound, and he's been road manager for artists, so he brings real life experience to that as well. And of course, I told you my story, so my 9 years experience. So all faculty members in our department have real life experience that they can bring into the classroom.
We love that.
So it's really cool.
Yeah. So before we go, as I always end everything, is with the fizzle down feel good. Like, what's one small good thing that's happened to you this week? I will go first. It's a bittersweet one. Sunday was our last show of Concord Floral, and I'm just really happy that I got to be part of that experience, and it was something different. So I'm happy that happened to me. Also, Ricky Montgomery dropped the new album the same week, so it was just a really good week for me. So yeah.
Okay. Let me think. Well, you had something kind of personal. Something personal.
It doesn't have to be personal. It can be something simple.
Yeah.
Everybody did personal one week, and then mine was literally the lemonade that we were drinking that week.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be personal.
Let me see. Oh, something interesting that was fun. Friday night was this past weekend was UNA's homecoming.
Yeah.
And there was the alumni awards at the local Marriott Friday night, and I went to and reconnected with one of our alums that was there. Came up to me. Well, I actually reconnected with 2 that I hadn't seen in a while. One that had totally no idea who he was because he looked so different than when he was in college. And he graduated probably 20 years ago. So in my defense, we all change a lot in 20 years.
Of course.
The other one came up to me. He graduated probably 10 years ago, and I immediately knew who he was. But just One in particular, he was telling me what he was doing. I'm friends with him on social media, but he doesn't post that much about what he does. And now I know why he doesn't. Because there would be so many, hey, can you get me tickets? Can you get me tickets to that?
Yeah.
He is the lighting guy on tour with Chris Stapleton. Do you know who Chris Stapleton is? Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
I was like, man, that is really cool. So we've got some wonderful alums, and it was just kind of neat to reconnect with him, and going to try to get him in to talk to our students. And we've got some awesome alums that are always willing to, hey, I'm happy to come back and share my experiences and, help with internships and things like that. So
That is so
that was
cool.
really a neat thing too. That's one of my favorite things about this job is just seeing students when they first come in and then kind of mature and graduate and go on to get a really great job in the industry, and then reconnect and say, this is what I'm doing.
This is what you do it for.
Like, my baby, I'm so proud of you. So, but anyway, that was pretty cool.
We love that. Where are the social medias for people can follow and get in touch with all of you guys? I know like one is like the main room live on Instagram.
Right. And I think I'm not for sure if this is main room or I'm sorry. One of them is UNA _ ENT, and I'm not for sure if that's Instagram. It may be
That's
both.
Instagram, I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you could just do a UNA Entertainment. Well, I think Facebook may just be Department of Entertainment Industry, like UNA. I should have written that down, but I'm
so
sure
good.
you could probably just do the search bar up there and it'll pop.
Type in entertainment
But
industry
I believe it's
UNA.
UNA _ ENT. I think it's Instagram.
Yes.
So be looking, and we're
They
constantly
constantly post things all the time. So check those guys out.
Yeah. And our website is una.edu / entertainment. So
Check those guys out.
Yep.
Follow us on Instagram as well at UNA Soda Pop, SOTAPOP, or UNA Soda, SOTA. I will see you in the next episode, and thank you so much for joining us,
thanks
Janna.
for having me.
No
Of course, it
problem.
was fun.
Well, until then, bye.